Good morning, welcome to another week. I thought I would do the reading of this. My interpretation is at the end of our daily morning Qigong session, which is up. I promised the first 5 days, which the members get automatically, is on our YouTube channel. If you go to Morning Qigong daily routines on the list on this channel, you will find those 5 videos amongst others and access to them. So I've elaborated on what my interpretation is. This video is just to give the creator, who is Colette Baron-Reid, her written explanation from the book. So just a short video recapping that to go alongside that video, but equally as a standalone if you would have just read the readings from the book. So the first card I pulled for this week was the Bard. So this is number 7. Oh, 6. 7. The Bard. Music, poetry, myths, history, the enchantments of the story. And this gives the title to that video that I'm mentioning, Poetry of the Day, and our meditation that we did alongside as part of our continued with the breath work and the Qigong for that session. But this card represents music, storytelling, and the passing of truths, myths, and legends from generation to generation through the spoken word or song. In ancient Avalon, the traditions and stories of the people were gathered on levels that served as letters in a living alphabet and were tended in vast long houses. Here, druids and priests came to read and weave the stories of magic and the sacred relationships to the gods, goddesses, and the mystery. Just like the Atlantean times, this was a time where sound, and those sounds were then like letters. So they were a combination of information in frequency, that we would say, and sound has a resonance with truth, and obviously our frequency, you can discern it does not lie as such. It always will manifest what is the frequency, what is the music of the soul, what is it that those stories that you're telling yourself that will play out for you in your life, is the way I was expressing that. So these schools in the art of music and storytelling were given the task of informing their worlds and keeping the stories of their culture alive. They were given the name of Bard. When the Bard appeared, you're asked to seek answers in your personal history. Go back into your own story and find the threads of the pattern in your reality and trace these lengths to the present. Perhaps you'll be surprised by how much of your past or that of your ancestors still weave its influence on you today. When the Bard appears, he asks you to receive the stories woven in the past. Perhaps you need to learn about the history of something, someone, or something important in your inquiry. The seeds of the future are always hidden in the soil of the past. It's time to dig a little to find the clarity you need. Don't be afraid to learn the patterns of history, the old way to honor them, or the only way to honor them or change them is to know them. Perhaps it's time to listen to music and allow yourself to be carried into the land of memory and listen for its memories as the strings of your soul are strummed by the hand of the divine. Remember that the bard appears to help you stay in tune with the all that is. You are music. Your story is sung in the heavens. And I'm to add, as I've said, this is about going to the ancestors and the stories that we tell ourselves, but reminding ourselves where we are now, the new stories we're rewriting, that awareness of those old stories that we're coming out of. So honouring those stories, those experiences in your life, whatever they are, they could be horrific things that have happened in your history of your ancestors or your own experience. But to honour them, you transcend them. You move beyond them. You honour them, not by condoning anything that was sadness or grief, but allowing yourself to move beyond them, to playing the music in a sense of stories, to write the poetry of that lesson into your own wisdom within yourselves in how you move forward. So it's not the saber-toothed tiger fearing walking down to the waterhole, or us fearing because the saber-toothed tiger would have attacked. It's knowing I no longer need to be afraid now, especially as the next card is the Lady of the Lake. And she holds the sword, which I'm saying, like in our meditation, our sword of truth is there. So, number 8. The Lady of the Lake represents the highest order or respect for yourself and the manner in which you operate within the world around you. She is the harnesser of elements of truth, where denial is swept away by tidal waves of events. So there's a sense, very much so in the 3D world at the moment, of social dissonance, that we kind of just sweep it under the carpet because we don't want to believe that someone could maybe be that bad or that evil, or that could be a truth. But in doing so and denying a truth to ourselves, we don't honour ourselves. So the sword of truth that we were given and gifted and reminding is always there. It's always there for us to cut away our attachments to an emotional body of energy of an experience, but also still to hold that wisdom. It's about being in the resonance and truth of your love, of your own higher self, and being guided by that higher self. So in the ancient legends of Avalon, the Lady of the Lake presented Merlin with the sword of truth, which had been claimed by Arthur, who became king of Britain. The magic that wielded this metal was fired by the will of the goddess, and consequently, when the Lady of the Lake appears, the demands nothing short of total truth and integrity. So the highest integrity of self is what the sword of truth is about. That's the sword that has been placed upon me and upon you if you've done the meditation. It's knowing that you have to be integral to yourself. You can't deny to yourself anymore. You have to hold that truth. But it's also, it's a gift. It's a gift of understanding your own truth, your own stories, moving beyond them. And this understanding is also that sense of like your lightsaber, your central column of light, being in alignment with your sovereign self is how I see this. And also it's the magic, it's the metal that, as we'll later move into that season, that's forged in the fires of our angers, our conflicts, our triggers. It's those contrasting moments that it's forged. And whether it cuts us or helps heal us is down to us, because our truth is to see beyond the vows of reality. We're in Avalon, remember. It's to see our heart, our core, going to the heart, going to the core. This is not a time to second guess. It's a single appear. If a signal appears, be assured that a challenge has been presented. Move forward without acknowledgement of the challenge will result in unnecessary difficulties. It is a signal to move, to push you to act. Do so for the victory in imminent. Regardless of your questions, the message to take care when the Lady of the Lake appears, as serious business is at stake. The lady reminds you of your personal responsibility in shaping your reality and your consequences. So our thoughts create our reality. Keep them focused for this week. Keep it sharp. Things will happen so quickly. You need to be holding that light. What is the poetry of your day going to be? Seek the sword of truth within yourself, and great successes will be yours. Have courage for when the lady appears, and remember, on the scale of emotions, the courage is above that of pride. So we let go of pride. So there is a pitfall here that I just want to point out. When you move into sovereignty, where the ego and pride can get in the way, because it's becoming like, well, no, kind of like that. Going to take arms against the sea of troubles, so to speak, and fighting the world off, and I'm going to be sovereign. But sovereignty isn't about, it's not actually about fighting at all. It's about knowing you don't need to fight. There's a subtle difference. And this is because when we look at courage as needing to fight, needing to battle, needing to hold power, that's duality. That's not sovereignty. It's love. It's not all love and light and perfection either. It's knowing your shadows, seeing those truths, seeing the reflection in the lake, and coming into that understanding. So this is not a time to second guess. It's a single appearance. So where we've got difficulties, a sign to move and push you to act. Do so for victory in imminent, regardless of the question. So you need to allow yourself not to run into battle, but to take action and clarity with discernment. The Lady of the Lake appears